so glad that you're here and thank you for stopping by. I have recently decided to go through a rebrand of my company name, and I found something that set with me a lot better, and I realized all of my life I just wanted to create, so hence the new name and the branding. But I digress. That's really not what this video is about today, but thank you guys for joining me on my journey. Today we're talking about utilizing symbols and assets in Affinity Designer to help you streamline your workflow and to get your designs out faster. So we're not really going to be making a full sticker set, although we might, but I just really want to show you how to utilize these tools that you have. In the future, I will be making some more Canva videos because the things that we're talking about now, again, can help speed up your workflow. That way you can upload your artwork to Canva and upload your designs to the Canva Contributor Hub and help you generate some secondary income. If you have an Etsy shop and you utilize something else, maybe you can find a tip or a tool here, or if you're on the fence or whatever, this can kind of help you make a decision on if you want to continue to use Canva or not. I'm not lobbying one way or the other. This is just another form or another tool to have in your arsenal. So what you're looking at on the screen is a new document setup. So the reason why I'm showing you this process is because I want to show you how easy it can be to even have a template set up. And a lot of times, as a person who's very creative, we tend to have a file system that kind of goes everywhere. And I know for myself, I don't care how much I try to stay organized. I have a folder for this, a folder for this, a folder for this, a folder nested in another folder. So I'm going to show you how to set up, first of all, a basic template that you can use over and over again so certain elements are already done. So I prefer to design my sticker sheets when I know they're going to not be printed and they're GoodNotes only, or whatever digital planning app that you're using. I prefer to set it up in the format for GoodNotes. That's what I have. I have Notability, but I really don't use it. I prefer the GoodNotes a lot more, but you know, I digress. That's just what I use. So we're going to go through a full document setup. So I prefer pixels because it's just easier for me. So the standard GoodNotes size is 1600 pixels by 2000 pixels, and the DPI is 192 pixels. Again, this is not for print. The output for your design, for the designs or stickers that you're doing or that we're doing today with this document, is not for print. If we were printing, we would use 300 DPI. That is the minimum requirement for print, but that's not what we're doing today. And I also like to change my color mode because I want to use the full range of what I can get of RGB. And RGB is what is going to be seen on the screen. Now, again, if we were printing, we would use CMYK color, the cyan, magenta, yellow, and I can't even think of the other name right now. That's crazy. But anyway, that's not what we're doing. I prefer to work in Artboard, and I don't need a transparent background. It kind of drives me crazy as I end up changing the color anyway, because if you remember a couple of videos ago, I put an outline around some of the stickers. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I change the color of my artboard anyway so I can see what I'm doing. So we're going to click OK. And here we have our first artboard. And it looks very plain, but we're making this a template. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm designing, I will have tons of artboards and they're all over the place. And I prefer to have a template because I know how I work. Now, if you're comfortable with just one artboard, that's fine. But I myself kind of like to have a couple of them set up so I'm not fishing around all over the place, or I'm not having to worry about it. And if I need to, then I can just export that one artboard, no big deal. So first thing I'm going to do is change my artboard color. So with the artboard selected, just the way that it is, I'm going to come up to my swatches. Now I like a light gray on my sticker sheets, and it just helps, you know, with it being seen when I'm posting it into my digital stores. People can look at it and kind of say, oh, okay, these are about the size of the stickers. It just is better to me than a white background, even if there is no white outline. But if there is, you can visibly see everything. And you're not creating a rectangle, so you can scroll across this. Okay, well, I'm moving my artboard, but you can kind of move around, and you're not affecting like a rectangle if you had decided to draw out a rectangle. And everything is fine. So when you're making your edit, paste, perfect. So I had copied and pasted that. It was saved to my clipboard already. So what I have here is what is standard on my stickers. Now, I'm not sure about how you plan on organizing your stickers, but I like to think ahead, and I like to make sure I have space for the title, I have my logo, and I have my copyright information. And I will even put my Etsy list, my Etsy shop URL here as well, just in case. But I found that an easy way to get that done for me is to just kind of link it, and maybe that will be a video I make in the future showing you how you can link your sticker and export the sticker sheet with that link in it. That way when someone imports this into GoodNotes, because I also find that creating the sticker sheet at this size, if they have a sticker book or some way that they're managing their stickers, they can just kind of keep everything together. So with that being said, what we're going to do is I'm going to turn this into a symbol. And the reason why I'm going to turn it into a symbol is because I want it to be standard in this document. So I'm going to select everything, and it's now a symbol. So I'm going to show you on another artboard how we got to this point. So let's say you prefer to have your logo or your heading area a lot larger. You want to work with this area for your stickers. And I'm just going to copy my copyright. Paste. And then I may come over here. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to snag my logo too. Paste. And I'm going to make it larger. I'm going to center it. So, and I kind of like that. Actually, I really kind of like that. I'm going to make it smaller. But now this is, and just quickly kind of created this element for our sticker sheet. And let's say we want 5% black for that and 5% black. And then selecting the artboard, we can keep that gray. All right, so I'm going to nest the written information into its respective places. And then I'm going to select both items and I'm going to group them together. And this I'm going to turn into a symbol. So now I have two side-by-side labels or sticker sheets that I can utilize, and they're both symbols. So why is this important, or how can this help streamline your workflow? All right, I'll show you. Let's just say that you're not working from a template and you open your document and you already have your stickers, your labels, or your symbols set up. So looking at a new document or a new artboard, I don't want to go through this again. I just kind of want it already to be done. I'm going to utilize my color. I'm going to come over here to my symbols panel and I'm going to insert. And I typically utilize the symbols for anywhere that my logo is going to be or the information needs to be the same consistently. So as I stated before, I'm showing you how to create a template as well as set up your symbols, because when you're working with symbols, it is not going to be available in every document that you have open. So symbols are document specific in Affinity Designer, and that's totally fine. And that's why I'm showing you to set up a template first and then you work from your template. So I went to Affinity Designer and I was able to look at what their definition of a symbol was. And according to Affinity Designer, in the help section, an intelligent object that can be placed repeatedly in your document. Editing any symbol on a page will automatically and instantly update the symbol. Again, symbols are document specific. So I limit my symbols to when I'm having my logo or creating patterns. And that is a whole other video that we will do in the near future. But for today, we're utilizing it to create a streamlined workflow for your stickers and creating an Affinity Designer. So I think I'm pretty happy with what we've established here. And what I'm going to do now is to save it. Well, I'm going to export it as a template. And the reason why I'm exporting this as a template, because one, I don't want to have to keep referring or changing my original document. That kind of negates the process of having the template set up. And we're going to call this, I'm going to name it Sticker Sheet. And I'm just going to put my dimensions in there. That works for me. And then add the dot. And I'm going to hit enter. And that lets me know that this is for GoodNotes or whatever digital output that I'm using, because we all know that we print on an 8.5 by 11 sheet. And I'm going to save it. And it's going to let me pick where I want to save it. I'm just going to save it in my Affinity Designer folder because that's where it originated from. So I'm going to come out of here and that's done. I'm going to rename my original file just because it helps me stay organized. And you can see in the back that some of my stickers aren't labeled, but they're labeled to their specific folder. And you can see I have a good note sticker sheet already done, but that's okay. That's neither here nor there. So we're going to go back to that sheet, and we're creating a new sticker sheet. So I didn't save it in Assets by Me. My sticker template. Nope, that's not what we called it. I called it sticker sheet. Sticker sheet template. Lost my place. Okay, and that's the wrong one. I'm going to close this. Move from template. Perfect. That's why you name your documents. That way you can just kind of quickly remember the name, and then you can just search for it. So we're starting from a fresh template. This is not our original file. This is going to be the fresh start. So from this point, I'm showing you how to create assets. So assets, as per Affinity Designer or affinity.com, the forum, and their help menu, assets are stored design elements which can be accessed from any document that you have. So why is this beneficial, and why is this helpful, and why am I telling you about it? So we all have seen the sticker planners or the sticker sheets in the craft store, Happy Stickers, Erin Condren stickers, where everything is already just kind of set up. The color palette is already streamlined. Everything matches perfectly. The phrases may change, but the standard sticker sizes are set. How they look is set. And that is how they maintain consistency within their brand. And that's how they have several sheets of stickers that they're creating at one time. And it seems like it's a mountainous project when sometimes we do it for ourselves. So how do we get around that? So I'm suggesting that you use the assets panel. And assets are great tools to have in your arsenal when you're designing. So as you can see here, I've opened my assets panel, and I have a couple of stickers or a couple of designs that I've created that I use pretty much consistently throughout my designs. So this is Planner Sticker 7. I have pattern pieces. I even used the assets panel and created calendar grids and other things that I utilize for making stickers. So we're going to come over here. I'm just going to show you really quickly how that works. So let's say I want to have a habit tracker. So see how instead of me kind of over and over again creating it, or even worrying about the copying pasting, it's already done. It's already set up for me, and I'm going to show you how we got here. So let's create a money symbol. I like a money symbol. I'm going to change the color so I can see it. So I'm going to go to theme 1 because this is the color palette that I want to work with. So there, I have my document. I have my rectangle for the dollar. And inside of it, you're going to need another rectangle. I'm not changing anything yet. I'm going to change my corners. And I'm going to change the fill for my money. Now, because I already have a color palette picked, this is kind of easy for me, but if you don't, you can work in black and white and then you can make the adjustments later. And what else is on money? We need the denomination. So I'm just going to change that already. I want that to be even. All right. So now I'm going to nest my money symbols together, my money pieces. So there. So let's say I want to duplicate and have this over and over again. Sure, I can edit, copy, paste. I can even duplicate and move it down. And then I can duplicate it again. But I don't want to do all that. So what I'm going to do is come over here and turn it into an asset. And I'm going to put it in my assets library. That way I have it all the time. So no matter what color palette I'm working on, because when you create stickers, you're working in color palettes. At least I hope. But if you're not, that's totally your business. But that's typically kind of what gets people to that's kind of how our brain works. We work off of the consistency and things kind of matching and elements working together. So now that we have those set up, we have our elements. So now we want some, well, I want to change the color, right? So I'm going to turn my inside color to blue. I kind of like how that one looks already. So I'm just going to leave it. Let's just see for it. Not bad. And all right, so we have some money. Not too shabby. So now let's do some notes. I want to do some noted flags. And so the great thing about it is that I created a lot of these elements months ago. Months and months ago. And I don't have to go into my original document and find those elements. They're already there. And I'm just changing the colors to match the current color palette. Simple. So when I first started creating digital planners and elements, and even with have, you know, being a digital designer and having that knowledge rather, I was still just kind of amazed at how much I was kind of wasting my time. And I'll be honest and say I was wasting my time because I wasn't utilizing templates very well. I wasn't streamlining my process with things that were already available to me. I was kind of doing the long way. I would go work on one document and do a save as, and you know, so I mean, and it seemed to like never fail. Sometimes I would forget to do my save as because I'm not always in that mindset to, oh, let me make sure I save, or the computer would crash or the lights would blink and flicker, and then all that work was done. So symbols and assets have helped me a lot in my work process. So I'm just going to make, I'm going to duplicate one more. And it also just helps you just streamline. So that's how I like to have my sticker sheet set up. And there are other tools that you can use, and we'll get into those as we go. And as I'm coming up with content, because it kind of takes me a minute to think about what I want to talk about before I just start talking and creating content. And I want to make sure that it's good content that is useful. So see how easy it is to already have the assets already made. So let's say we want to do some flags. And all we're doing is changing the colors. We have our element. Already done. You can do numbers, you can do people. I'm just going to scroll here to see some things that I've already set up. I have digital rings. I have staples. So I'm glad that we're at this point. So this is some washi tape, and this is a color. This was a digital sticker set that I made a long time ago. And here's the beauty of how assets work, because when you save something as an asset and then you insert it, it saves everything at that time. So you can do, like, that had 2 images in it. It was 2 images that I had clipped into that folder or into that piece of washi tape. But now I don't need it. So now I still have my sticker. And I'm going to just update it. I'm going to do some more washi tape. And just change the color. There we have it. What other stickers? So I'm a big proponent of functional stickers. I like artistic stickers, but I also kind of like just to be functional and pretty. It has to be functional and pretty. So let's go over here and find these other stickers that I've made, or these other assets. So I have my planner assets everywhere. So here's a piece of notebook paper or sticky note that I made. And a lot of times I just find it's easier to kind of have another sheet. This sheet I won't use because it doesn't look like the first one. I'll save that for another sticker set, but I can easily just change the color. And now everything matches. My theme, my color theme is set up, and I'm just basically picking and choosing what I like to match into the stickers. So we're gonna do yellow, or that orange. I'm gonna duplicate. And what other functional stickers can we utilize? Insert some label tabs. Just change the colors to match the theme that we have. I don't like how that's sitting on the page, but I'm just gonna zoom in there. So we have some labels. Let's do a habit tracker or a water log. It doesn't matter what you use it for, because your end user is going to do what they want with the stickers. You're just providing them the ability to have this stuff already created. So sometimes the most interesting part of all of this process is getting all of these on one page or to where it makes me happy. Because I don't always have the same stickers in the sticker set. So it just is a matter of placement on the page for me. I'm going to change this color to that light yellow. Yeah. So let's make a little credit card. And I'm not working on the page because I don't want to run into any of the other elements. We're going to round the corners. Yeah. First you got to click it. So we're going to round it and kind of bring it in just a little bit. So I like to kind of have a credit card sticker. That way I can keep track of days I use my credit card for my expenses. And I'm not making one in particular for any company. But if you fancy, you can there we go. And you can use it kind of like a bill payment sticker or track when you used your card. We're gonna round it. There we go. And now we're turning it, we're adding it into one of those assets. Right, all right. I always like to include different kinds of notepad pages in my sticker sets. And so one of the interesting things about working with assets in making sure, let's say that you insert this graph paper. So this is a teachable moment. So I'm going to show you some assets that I created, and every time I use them, and when I say every time, I mean every time I use them, because I had not fully understood how assets worked, and I was kind of learning how all of this worked, I did not do something critical when I created this. I did not. So anytime that you're creating elements and you know you may potentially have to scale the object down while you're even still in Affinity Designer, you want to make sure you go to your outline section and hit scale with object. Because if you don't, you run the risk of your line and design changing. So my lines changed. Let's go back to the original size and let's click on one of my lines. So it's 2.8. I don't think it changed much, but let's say that I want all of my lines at 1. So let's click the entire thing and go. Okay, that really wasn't a good example, but I do have another one. Let me show you. So here, I created a calendar grid. Wrong asset to this one. So here, I created a grid of my weekly spread. So look at what happens when I change it. See how everything is not scaling appropriately. My lines aren't scaling appropriately. I'll show you one more time. So you just want to make sure that you always have your scale with object checked before you save the asset. And I'm just going to delete that. So back to making more stickers and using our assets. So let's insert. Take the outline off. I kind of want this box to be taller. And I may move my little credit card to over here. Turn the lines off because I don't want lines. I don't want an outline on my stickers. So there. We'll turn those off. And what other can we add? There we go. We'll add a few of these guys. Duplicate. And this we can make smaller. There we go. And there you have it. A full sticker sheet created. I might duplicate this one and just change it up a little bit. There we go. Oh. All right, so I'm going to delete this. I love the stick. I love, a lot of times I get lost in just creating all of the elements and looking at the cohesiveness of all of the design. I like it a lot. So we're making a notepad sheet. And so we will change the color of these lines. Ooh. And we're going to take that border off. We do one more of these. And so I just noticed that my lines on both of these changed. So let's go and take a look at why. And here's why. Because I turned the lines into symbols. So remember I said that anytime you have symbols incorporated into your document, it will change everywhere. So to get around that from happening, what we're going to do is select the symbol that we want, and we're going to go back to the symbols panel because here's where it is. We're going to hit the 3 hamburger menu and click detach from symbol. That way any changes that I make will be standard to just that one, because I actually wanted these lines blue and I want these lines to remain white. So I'm going to duplicate one more and change the color and turn that into pink grid. And there you have it. I'm not sure how long it typically takes you to create your stickers, but for me, that works out really well because I was able to get this done in under an hour. And the faster you go, or the better you get at figuring out which elements you want to consistently maintain in your sticker sets, for your consistency, will help you to figure out what items that you need. If you make a lot of functional stickers, you'll want to have the days of the week. If you make a lot of the to-dos And the other list, and what I mean by other list is it's this checklist, and they kind of change the color. And so we'll duplicate there. And so we're going to group all of this together, because that's the other thing. If even though you have this really great item, so let's just say like you want to incorporate this into your element, and we'll go over here. That way you can see what's going to happen into your assets. See how it brought everything in individually? And there's nothing wrong with that, but that was not your intention. And that was not the intention of grouping those together. And in fact, we'll go ahead and finish it up and see if we can't find room. I'll just delete that. Delete. And it's going to kind of take it a minute. It has to think about it, because I'm constantly on my iPad. I really love my iPad, because I never know where I'm going to be at and collect some inspiration or anything like that. All right. And delete. So we'll finish that up. That way you know what I was actually making. So I see a lot of the check boxes like this. And we'll bring them to the top. We'll bring it up. There we go. So duplicate. Change the color. And I'm going to grab them both and duplicate. And then duplicate again. And then I need one more duplicate. So first I'm going to group this. I'm going to group all my circles together. And then I'm going to group all my rectangles together. And then I'm going to nest. I'm going to clip them into there. And so now, since it's already grouped, what we can do is come over here and add the asset. And I really made that kind of big. It's very large. But I did it so I could see. Oh no, and I have no room for that sticker, but that's okay. That will come in handy for another sticker set. I'm just going to shrink those some. Because the beauty of these is that you're going to export them and when people put them in their digital planners, they'll be able to use them at whatever size they want. So it doesn't necessarily have to be really large. And there you have it. Stickers utilizing the assets panel and kind of developing an understanding about the symbols panel. So see that we have our stickers here. And we're going back to symbols for a second. So I'm changing the title of my sticker set. So see, it happened here and it happened here. And it also happened in the assets panel. Because remember, symbols, or it happened in the symbols panel. Symbols will change globally within the document. And we learned that with the lines that we created, because the lines were turned into a symbol at some point. And it was probably from the originating document. So I might even re-record this with some updated symbol information just to kind of better understand how that works, because symbols are document specific and assets run across all the documents that you have. And I wasn't expecting that change. So I will probably be doing a little more research and seeing how, if you turn something into a symbol, that may even be a workaround for you if you turn it into from symbol to asset, but for a later date. But I just wanted you guys to see how you can streamline your workflow with assets and symbols and possibly help you to crank out some more stickers. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was fun to make, and thank you for watching. And